Hi, people! It's showtime!
Ask me about my wiener!
Welcome to Harman Institute of Technology!
So we meet this kid, Bartleby Gains, who's making fake IDs for his graduating class. And since they're graduating, Bartleby and his friend Schrader talk about getting into college because if they don't, by some teenage law and media, they will explode. And when they go outside, the girl of his dreams comes over and brings up prom in a way that he thinks that she's asking him. But it ends up being that she wants him to mow her lawn before she throws a party that he's not invited to.
I hate my life. I'm a huge tool.
And then her boyfriend Hoyt, that Bartleby was well aware of, picks her up.
Have fun being hot.
And then he goes home and finds out that the last school he applied to rejected him too. And his parents do not take this well.
Are you high?
You're huffing grass?
But they are happy that they started prepping their other child, Lizzie, for college and middle school because they have giant sticks up their butts, and God forbid she enjoy her childhood.
Who put the sticks up their butts?
What? No, that's just
That is cruel.
That's not a metaphor.
It's a metaphor.
And they carry this attitude with him at Schrader's graduation party.
He's thrown his life away.
That night, as he deals with the shame and embarrassment they put him through, he remembers that he's pretty good at Photoshop from all those fake IDs he made, and he decides to use that skill to make a fake letter of acceptance to a fake college. And after his dad looks at the fake website Schrader made, he cuts him a check.
Well, how do teenagers know how to do all that stuff?
I don't know, maybe they signed up for Skillshare. It's an online learning site where you can learn a whole bunch of stuff, like cooking, sewing, photography, or maybe you could learn Photoshop or web design. And if any of this interests you, click the affiliate link in the description.
What do I want to learn?
You can think about that and then get back to me.
But that's besides the point. Bartleby's dad wants to drop him off at school, so now he has to rent a building that can pass for a college on a $10,000 budget. Luckily, when he meets up with Schrader to come up with a plan, he meets at a place where only people who didn't get into college hang out.
College is for pussies!
And one of them has a place that they might be able to use. And as soon as they get the place cleaned up, he finds out that his dad also wants to meet the dean of the college, and he asks his son to set that up.
Why are you asking me?
They think to ask Schrader's uncle, who used to be a teacher, but got fired and now works at a shoe store for help. He says that he doesn't want anything to do with education anymore, even though this is an acting job and only needs to talk to 2 people for like 10 minutes.
I want you to pretend to be the dean. It's just for one day.
But then he gets fired from the shoe store and moves on campus. Well, move-in day rolls around, and this girl Rory brings everyone from a class she teaches to pose as students, where she doesn't tell them what areas they can stay in because they only cleaned areas that Bartleby's parents would see.
We don't have to renovate the whole place. We just have to focus on essential areas.
And then they go see the dean, and his train left the station so long ago that he almost blows the whole thing. But he brings it back together at the last second because although they may have sticks up their asses, they're not that bright either.
I don't understand.
I don't understand either.
So the parents leave, and the group of people who never thought about just going to a community college sit around until there's a knock at the door. There's some guy there who says he got accepted to Harman Institute of Technology, and he's there for orientation. And since they only opened the door just enough, Bartleby didn't see the other 300 or so people just waiting quietly at the end of the sidewalk.
Why were they all just out there waiting?
Shut up. Maybe none of them have ever gone into a public building before. And I can only assume that Glen, Hans, and Rory have never had anyone knock on their doors because they go up on the roof to watch what they didn't know was happening.
Did you just say you got accepted here?
Well, yeah, we all did.
Now all of these people are here for orientation, so without telling them anything, Bartleby goes to find Schrader to find out what went wrong. And of course, Bartleby knows that he would be rushing a fraternity the same day he moved in, and goes to the right one where he bumps into what's-her-name.
Well, what is her name?
I don't know. I'm sure she has one.
I don't remember you either. Oh, yeah, I do actually. I think about her when I'm mastering.
But it's really not important. She's kind of just a trophy he can win if he gets enough cool points.
Let's see.
But hey, he did find the frat house that Schrader was rushing in, but I don't know why he'd want to join here because everyone looks at him like he just took a shit on the pool table because he doesn't look like he knows how to sail a yacht.
I want to have sex with girls that look like this!
Bartleby tells Schrader the situation, and they agree to let everyone know that they got tricked, because Schrader programmed the site to automatically send you an accepted letter instead of a form that they could fill out that they would never hear back from. So they go into a room that luckily had a shit ton of folding chairs that just got left behind and attempt to tell everyone about their screw up, which of course starts off like every college orientation.
Hey, who the hell are you?
And that jumping off point makes him realize that everyone in the room is in the exact same situation he's in, and he decides to use the money they mailed in to make a real school for them to go to.
But didn't they only clean enough of the building so that their parents would think it was real?
Yes. The hallways in the foyer are fine, but the other bedrooms may be padded cells and the bathroom is still covered in poop.
Jesus, it stinks.
Be my victim.
And this leads to more confusion like room assignments, which Rory is going to handle after two guys who brought their own sledgehammers try to knock down a wall. And these aren't the only morons they have attending. Some of these people have no respect for other people at all. So if they don't want the building to burn down, they need to figure out how to run a college. So Bartleby goes to Harman College to tour the campus and sit in on a couple classes where everyone is either bored out of their minds, burnt out, or stressed out.
We offer a highly structured, time-tested curriculum carefully designed to stimulate the young mind.
But then he sees that one chick and goes after her. She jokes about him stalking her.
What, are you stalking me or something?
Yeah, stalking's an ugly word.
But since she's seen him 2 days in a row on a campus he doesn't go to, she should probably be a little more concerned.
I like to think of more like obsessively shadowing.
But this little field trip gets Bartleby thinking that his students should be able to learn what they want to and not follow a set curriculum. He then uses their money to buy stuff for the school, like a half pipe and a new kitchen.
Did he ever clean the bathrooms?
Well, I would assume so, since they went as far as to drain the pool and add a new school logo he had a stripper design. But they run into a slight snag when Hoyt comes knocking to talk to the leaseholder. He's on the student outreach board and got assigned to try to get them to sell the building. And this is information that he could have looked up and taken care of with a phone call, but he needed to have Bartleby piss him off so he can be justifiably mean to him later.
Have fun with these idiots.
See, Hoyt's supposed to be a bad guy in the story, but hasn't really done anything wrong so far, and Bartleby has been mean to him solely because he's dating the girl he likes.
Oh, no, thanks, man. I'm not into guys. I totally respect your lifestyle choice, though, and good luck with it.
But shortly after this, she ends up walking in on Hoyt with another girl at a party, so now everyone's allowed to hate him.
Hey, asshole!
The next day, she shows up to her dorm room to find that Bartleby broke in and gave her an expensive camera and lens because she said she liked photography. Then she wanders around his building looking for him to thank him for the expensive gift that she just says is sweet.
Maybe you're just too average.
He walks her back home where he sees Schrader being hazed by her ex-boyfriend's fraternity.
Ask me about my wiener!
He meets up with him after because he's worried that they're going to get sued for taking all these people's parents' money. See, they aren't legally recognized as a college and don't have things like insurance, but everyone just thinks Schrader's worrying too much.
Schrader, you were scared to try the new flavor of Dr. Pepper.
That's actually a legitimate fear.
They then turn around and throw a raging party that steals all the people away from the frat party. Well, Hoyt hears about this and automatically assumes it's Bartleby throwing it.
Alright, where is that asshole?
But it is him.
He doesn't know that. He doesn't even know his name.
Aren't you that guy?
So he shows up to start some shit, so Schrader cockblocks Bartleby, who finally got the blonde girl alone. And this dude has the nerve to ask the useless girl if she's dating Bartleby now, while he's with the girl he cheated on her with.
You're humiliating yourself, buddy.
But the entire school threatens to beat up the frat guys if they don't leave, and on their way out, they pull the fire alarm that surprisingly works. And I'm hoping it's not stagnant water from the pipes since the building's been abandoned for quite a while. Well, hold on. Rory said she used to work there.
I used to do volunteer work here.
And since she's only 18, this place just went to shit real fast. But I guess no one minds the water or the smell, and they just keep dancing. But Hoyt's new girl saw Schrader at the party, and they send her to get him for his induction ceremony, which he should have already gone through if he's already a pledge. I think they mean initiation, but that would mean 1, he didn't know what day that would be, even though they would have made sure he had the night free, and 2, there are no other pledges. But they use this opportunity to get info out of him about South Harman and steal his laptop with all the information, which leads to them creating a Parents' Day where everyone's parents all show up at once. And they managed to do this by sending out letters to all the parents, meaning that they had a few days where not a single student got a call from their folks saying that they were coming.
Oh, it feels like ages since we've spoken to you.
And the dean of Harman comes out and tells all the parents that South Harman is not an accredited school, and everyone is shocked. But see, this only means that they can't transfer credits to other schools, and students can't apply for financial aid.
They don't pay for shit.
But since everybody paid up front, that part doesn't matter.
That sounds very important.
As a matter of fact, it is.
That's why I said it.
But the parents start dragging their kids home without letting them get their things or even dressed.
Now, isn't that a load of horse shit?
And if he's convicted of fraud, the building's lease will be defaulted on, so Bartleby has to move home. But apparently this building was in town since he doesn't have a car, but is still able to show up to check the mail that we already have established he has a P.O. box for. And wouldn't you know it, he finds a notification of a hearing to get accreditation for their school. So for once, Schrader's paranoia worked in their favor because he filled out all the paperwork that they needed because he was worried about going down as an accessory.
Do you know what will happen to me if I get caught?
Well, the hearing rolls around, and the whole school shows up to support them becoming a legit school. And not a single student is bitter, or a single parent is there pissed off that they spent 10 grand on having their kid have fun for a semester. But for some reason, the Dean of Harman is there with Hoyt and his frat bros to contest their accreditation. What's-her-nuts even shows up, and the bailiff is very happy about that. So they plead their case and get laughed at for their curriculum, but then they justify the classes, saying that they're more than just funny names.
How does one major in bumper stickers?
That's graphic design, dumbass. It's a highly in-demand field, and you can also learn that on Skillshare.
True.
Then they get laughed at even harder when they only have one real teacher on faculty.
He's a drunk, he's a degenerate, and he's Looney Tunes.
But in actuality, every shithead is a teacher because everyone has something to add to a class instead of just learning it the way one person wants to teach it.
American education is in the shitter.
But after explaining how it all works, Bartleby tells the board he doesn't give a shit if they get accredited.
I don't give a shit.
Because he knows that they all learned, even if it wasn't in a traditional setting. But the board actually likes them and approves them for probationary accreditation. Although I'm not really sure how all the classes could transfer.
I want to learn how to blow shit up with my mind.
Never mind. So the next semester rolls around, and not only does Bartleby end up dating that useless chick, but his dad finally hugs him too.
Well, someone had to do it.
So if you made it to the end of the video, type "I want to be a shithead" in the comments.
I want to be a shithead. I want to be a shithead.
And also, only about 4% of people who watch our videos are subscribers.
Is this true, Bartleby?
So if you could hit that button too, that'd be fantastic.
We all can't live with our heads up our asses.
I disagree.
Oh, don't worry, you're young, your butt can take it.
Cool, awesome, thank you. That was great. I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye.
And have a good day, and enjoy the game show that you host.